It's time for the SVU After Show here on AfterBuzz TV. We're talking season 20, episode 7, Caretaker. We're going to talk about some stuff. I have a lot of thoughts. Stick around.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Hello and welcome to the SVU After Show here on AfterBuzz TV. Did you dab?
She did first.
I
Can't blame me for this one. We've teamed up.
Something terrible is happening here at SVU. I'm your host, Yael Tygiel. I'm joined by my lovely panel. Taylor is here.
Yeah, I am. Hey, what's up, guys?
Felicia is here.
Hey.
They will not continue to dab. It's unacceptable.
We can't promise that.
Every dump I'm dabbing. So.
Yes.
You know what we forgot to put on the board is how we start every SVU After
The
Show.
hotline?
Yes.
That's on the board.
Oh, there
My
it is.
good-
I see
my
it. It's
good
above
woman.
our names.
Yeah.
Apologies, everyone. Hi,
I
welcome
was
to the
getting
SVU After Show.
chastised for no reason.
That's true. I apologize. It's this episode. This episode's put me in a tizzy, everybody. Before we jump into it, I'm going to give you the hotline. Somebody pull it up because I didn't take it. The hotline for the National Sexual Assault Hotline. Although this episode had 0 sexual assaults, we will still provide this service for you because we think it's very important that everyone has access to someone to talk to if you need it. Please, please, please call them if you need it. The hotline is 1-800-656
Something with hope. I'm sorry. It's still loading.
HOPE. That's fine.
Yes. So
1-800-656 HOP.
4673.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Killing it over here. Great. Now that that's out of the way, this episode had some murder. We're gonna say things. I'm very angry with this episode, so this is your content warning. I guess if you ever killed your children, this episode isn't for you. See, like that. That's the kind of stuff I'm gonna say. Stop.
Maybe go to somewhere to get some help if that
Yes,
is
all right.
the case.
Thoughts on this episode? I want to throw papers in the air. I'm done.
Well, who's gonna pick them up though?
Also, I don't have paper. I'm green.
This episode, it just I think we talked about this before. It's just misogyny. It was just through this entire episode, and it was
Yes.
very irritating to me. As I guess I didn't know I was a feminist. Surprise, y'all! I'm a
You
feminist.
didn't know you were a feminist?
I didn't know.
That's concerning.
I just found out today, but no, it wasn't as good as last week.
Yeah.
And it kind of let me down.
This season has been pretty great. We've enjoyed a lot of it. This episode came out of left field. I have a lot of issues. We'll get to them. Taylor, what'd you think?
All right. If I have to say something nice, which I don't,
no
but I'm
one
going
said
to.
you have to.
Sasha
I
Alexander
want
was good.
to hear a try. Yeah.
Sasha Alexander was good.
She was. That's right, everybody. Rizzoli or Isles
We
was
don't know.
here.
None of us watched it.
But Sasha Alexander was on the show.
She was good.
I loved her in season 1 of NCIS.
Yeah.
I also think she looks better with dark hair, and I would have preferred her to keep her dark hair. Also, those who know me know that I don't do well with people changing their hair. Although Benson has done it for 20 seasons, and I've been okay.
Yeah. And we all straightened our hair today.
Yes, we're straight hair gang today.
Just so everyone
We didn't
knows.
plan this,
We
by the
didn't.
way. We did not know.
So everyone listening on the audio podcast,
You might want to look it up. It's
Our hair is straight.
monumental.
Wonderful. All right, we start the episode. We start the episode with a kid stumbling down the street. I called that he was stabbed. Yes?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He turns around. He's stabbed. His name is Charlie. We then find out that the police come and they go in and we see his race car bed, which I was like, race car bed? And then it became relevant that there was a race car bed.
Yeah.
Dumb.
She was going to buy it for Noah for Christmas.
I don't know why she's not going to anymore.
Because maybe he'll put murdered in it. I don't know.
I don't think that's how that works.
It could be a bad luck bed.
Or
Don't
you
get
just
that
see
one.
it okay, maybe
Oh,
not
right.
maybe not that one. Maybe a different bed.
Get a red race car.
All right.
Like Lightning McQueen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So there's a little girl who's been stabbed and a father who's been stabbed. Where's the mom?
Wait, sorry. I just have a question.
Oh, I thought you were going to
No,
bring
I
up
have
the
a-
fact that he said daddy.
You mentioned
that
on
was
every
weird.
episode the guy who made Love Potion. What is his name?
Oh, that's Chuck Mills.
This little kid's name was essentially Chuck Mills.
It's Charlie Mill.
But it's basically
okay.
the same name.
Hilarious.
Sorry, but I just noticed that.
No, that's wonderful. I did notice that their name was Mill and not Mills.
Yeah, that
and it
drove me crazy.
Thank you. I was like,
It's plural.
Do you want to finish that name or not?
Mill.
Mill. It's like having a kid named Willia.
Mom.
William. You got to finish that name. All right. So the mom's missing. The kids, it seems, and the father and the daddy was killed in their sleep. Charlie didn't make it, everybody.
I thought he looked like okay-ish walking down the street.
He was stabbed twice.
I didn't expect him to die, though.
Oh,
Me
also
either.
the cop who brought them into the house
Was an idiot.
should be fired.
Lose your job.
Is the rest of the family home? Yes and no. Excuse me? Get out of here.
So
Insensitive.
True.
Wrong time to be cheeky.
Seriously.
Yeah, you're right.
So we find out that the mom, Anna Mills, is a lawyer. Carisi goes to break the news to her. And then we start suspecting Dolores the nanny.
Because Dolores was acting suspicious.
Because she wasn't there?
Well, because she washed the knife and it was
We
in her,
aren't even there yet.
Oh,
At this point,
because
we're
it's
just
always
looking for her.
Because in your rational mind, as a rational person, you're like, oh, no one's gonna kill their husband and their kid.
I disagree. Every time a woman is murdered, the assumption is always her husband or boyfriend. So why, if the family's all dead and the woman is not there, why is it not assumed that it is her?
Because
it
it's
is
the kids.
sexism.
No, the
Yael
kids.
is questioning gender stereotypes right now.
That's right.
I think it's because of the children. If the husband was just dead, it'd be like, okay, I'm gonna look at the wife. But since no one thinks oh, you carried these kids and raised them and then you killed them. And I know my mom's been like, I brought you in this world and I'll take you out, but I don't think she's really gonna ever take me out.
We'll hold this discussion for a second because literally people with their postpartum issues where they carry the baby, give birth to it, and then try to kill it. So
But they were kind of old though.
Yes, they were much older. Anyway, so we go looking at the nanny. Carisi finds her diary and has to translate it to us.
Every time they include Spanish in this show, I'm like, please don't. Please just don't.
Why?
Because they write it so awkwardly.
You think it's written by not a Spanish speaker?
Yes, absolutely.
Let's go to Google Translate, guys,
Your
and put in the
complaint
script.
is not that there is Spanish.
Oh yeah, it's the way it's written.
I just wanted to
yeah,
clarify because you were
sorry.
sounding terrible.
No. If it felt authentic and not forced.
I only appreciate when the Spanish is then immediately followed by the same word in English. Sí, yes.
Only if it's 911 do we want.
Yes, that's true. No, I liked the girls when they have the there was an episode where they got some girl who was trafficked from Mexico, and so she kept everything she said in Spanish and then repeated in English, and it was so unnecessary.
It just feels awkward. I don't know, subtitles.
But also our team speaks Spanish.
Yeah.
Or at least Benson speaks.
Or at least they know basic stuff, right?
Okay, this is what it is. Okay, you're gonna be on this show, and in Spanish, after English is the most language spoke in this country, United States of America, and then they're in New York, so there's a bunch of people who speak Spanish. So if you're gonna do that, and this is the show you're gonna do, I need you to get with a dialect coach and learn how to actually speak Spanish, how to pronounce the words. Am I saying this right? Is there no one on set that's yo, that sounds crazy coming out your mouth? Roll your lips this way or roll your tongue this way so that the words actually sound like you know it, a person who knows how to speak Spanish instead of someone who is reading a script and part of it's in Spanish. It's kind of a little...
Well said.
I'll tell you this, do not watch any of NCIS where they had Ziva David, who is supposed to be Israeli, speaking Hebrew. They shot that in LA full of Israelis. That woman was A, Chilean, and B, spoke Hebrew with a French accent.
Oh.
Do not watch. It's real obnoxious. Anyway.
I'm good. Thank you for the heads up.
Guys, just hire writers that
but also
know Spanish.
Accent dialect coaches.
Yeah. We
That's
need
important.
you to do better.
Okay. So Carisi reads from the diary. Here is the translation. Essentially, these kids need their mom, and that the mom doesn't know what a sweet man she has. So we all, at that moment, knew what happened.
Yes.
Or at least know what was happening there. Finn finds the knife. The knife has been washed. Carisi finds blood on the clothing. They go to find Dolores's brother, Emilio. They push into his home without a warrant.
Yeah.
And then find her in the closet.
Ow, I hit myself in the forehead.
Karma.
Oh, I forgot. You're doing way better
we're
than
done.
me.
We're done.
Nope, I'm
Both
doing
of you.
it.
Get out of my studio. For those listening to the audio podcast, they keep dabbing every time.
I'm dabbing every dun, and I hit myself in the forehead.
You guys are terrible. All right. Okay.
Yael hates us for
I
it.
really do.
Well, we love you.
So Dolores says the kids were dead when she got there. She arrived at 8:30, let herself in and made breakfast. I'd like to point out that when no one answered her call for breakfast, she first went to check on the husband, and then her words, "Then I remembered the kids." You're a nanny.
Well,
You're a
she's
side
a
piece.
nanny. That's exactly. She has her
Yes.
priorities.
Yes.
Skewed, but her priorities.
Yes. So then we have this really great nanny gossip scene. I really enjoyed this.
I would
Hearing all
watch
the
that
different.
show.
Yeah. The nanny
I
gossip
like the
show.
Jamaican one.
Yeah, she was my favorite.
Yeah.
She's great.
Because they went and got coffee.
In the middle of the day.
They were drinking coffee. Love it.
It's good. All right. Anna then blames herself for the affair, for bringing Dolores into their lives. Oh, this is all of my fault. She did it. We then get this weird red herring about the voicemail from a writer friend. Finds out that they're going broke. Any thoughts on that before I keep moving?
Nope.
Great. So then we find out that there's this crazy conspiracy going for Anna to get money with GBT legal services.
Oh, she embezzled it for sure. Like,
Yeah,
she's the reason they got the red flag or the audit when they started in the meeting when
Yeah.
they were like, you can't go in there.
it's I'm gonna tell her it's a pretty smooth deal. It's very smart, very, very smart.
Yeah.
Genius.
I liked
Come
it.
on.
So she's making money through her clients through this other shell
She's
company.
making bread. Like, she's not like, oh, you make money. No, you are making bread. Like, you're making the donuts.
They got
like
this bread.
3 million or something like that. It was like
3 million,
millions of dollars.
Under her
Millions.
husband's name. Then Finn finds her shoes with a spot of blood in the office. This is where things go bananas on the show. Benson can't comprehend the idea that a mother could kill their children. She says mothers don't kill their babies.
Except for they have on many, many episodes.
So I just, off the top of my head, remembered Shaken, which is where a baby is shaken to death because the mother wanted to go on a date. We have Cage, where they killed Rosemary and they kept putting kids in cages, although technically not biological mother, but fine. And then we have the Munchausen by proxy episodes. Literally a mother poisoning their children.
But she can't fathom it happening.
like, oh,
She says, when she's on the stand, she says, in 20 years, I've never seen anything like this in my 20 years. Are you kidding
We all
me?
the
not
television
even like it, not even similar at all to it.
A mother doesn't kill their babies. Since when? Since when?
So the fact that she can't believe that is like kind of strange. And then it's also then you have Rollins on the other side who's like, no, it has to be the nanny. And then like they have like some extreme like mommy guilt about like having nannies in their house and having people trust them.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I want to be like, Olivia, stop, girl, because that nanny has been ride or die for you because you were like all over the place.
Lucy,
Lucy is
how
Noah's
dare you?
second mom.
Don't you question
or his first
Lucy.
mom. You might be a second mom. but
and Noah said like at one point he wanted to go live with Lucy or whatever. At no point has there been a concern. And there was the episode Chasing Theo where the nanny
yes.
kidnaps the boy to give him a better life. And then you weren't thinking about Lucy? What if Lucy loves Noah more than me and takes him away? What if Lucy thinks I work too much? No.
Then I had a problem with that, but I had a bigger problem with them debating who they would rather have killed the children.
Okay,
Creepy.
well, hold on.
What?
So,
their interaction this entire episode was a little strange.
I'm sorry to the writing staff, but I want to understand if they have never seen this show before. 20 seasons of episodes. You're changing the characters in such drastic ways that do not make sense.
It's very hard to grasp why they do that. Like one of my notes that I had just said, I was like, it seems like every episode, whatever the plot is, they try to force a connection with that plot and the anybody in the squadron. It's just like, you don't have to force it. People can still feel empathy and be good at their jobs and not understand without it directly impacting their lives or having some super close similarity. Like
if it was just the scene where Benson says, she went home and she put Noah to bed and then watched him for 2 hours, and Rollins was like, I did the same thing. That in itself gives us they are mothers. They're worried about their children. They couldn't imagine hurting them. What a tough case. That's fine. Everyone's laughing at me in the chat. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be that rude.
No. They actually agreed with you. Peacock Tales, shout out to you, says the detectives have selective amnesia, or at least the writers do.
Sometimes it feels like that. Like, still love the show, and I understand stuff happens, but it's like, that's just not in character.
It's just her surprise by this 20 seasons. How are you... I know you shouldn't be numb to these things, but you shouldn't be as surprised as you are.
That's the thing. It was the surprise of all of it. Like, you can feel, like, because she said, this never gets easier, all this stuff. But the fact that she's like, mothers don't kill their kids. Like,
yes, they do.
Seen them. That happened, like, multiple times.
Maybe not like, I don't remember an instance of multiple children being killed on the show, like more than one.
By a mother specifically.
Yeah. But like one. So maybe it's that there's two, or maybe like she's just she killed, you're under arrest for killing 3 people. You mean triple homicide? Really?
All right.
Ice didn't know his lines. Just keep it a buck. Like, he didn't. He's like, you're under arrest for killing 3 people.
All right. So when Finn and Benson are going after the mom, Finn has the evidence, which is a drop of Rachel's blood on the mom's shoe, and her fingerprint on the bed. And I went to the School of Law of SVU, can get that thrown out easily.
Yeah.
The blood could have been from any time.
A Band-Aid, anything.
A nosebleed, that's a thing they constantly claim on this show. That's her mother. Of course she has her... Like, your kids bleed. They get hurt. Also, my fingerprints on her bed, I'm her mother. Yeah. It's my house.
You know I have an issue with the crime scene.
Circumstantial.
Yeah.
I could get all that evidence thrown out. Not a lawyer. Anyway, and then Benson says you killed them. And she just crumbles.
Like, I won't lie, this was a good little twist moment for me.
You loved this.
Yeah.
I did. I'll say this. The story of the mom killing her, killing the kids and the husband, that was a good story. That was interesting. Her reasoning, as dumb as it is, fascinating.
Yeah.
Yes. Like, that whole part was wonderful. I think it was just our detectives, specifically the way that Rollins and Benson behaved, and then some things that Stone said. We'll get to. This episode. Yeah. There were great things and there were not so great things.
It was inconsistent.
Yes.
Like that crime scene. Like I feel like people from props were like, yo, let's just throw some stuff on the wall. Like, if you got stabbed, like, I don't know, maybe you could squirt, but like,
I was wondering how that splatter...
like the splatter, I watch a lot of crime shows too, and I'm like, nah, I know blood splatter.
That
and,
splatter looked a lot more like a gunshot wound.
Yes.
And if she did it in their sleep and there was no defensive wounds.
Yeah, then there should have been less blood on the walls.
Yeah.
They just got crazy, guys. It was,
And it was all just in her husband's. Anyway, all right. So she's pleading not guilty, which made me laugh, by a mental defect. She has bail set at $2 million. And then we're supposed to know who this lawyer is?
Billy O'Boyle. All right.
Is he... I'm taking this to fans. Is he from Chicago Justice? Because it was implied that he is from Chicago and that he came up for this case because her law office has a office there.
Something like that.
Yeah. But are we supposed to recognize him? Because the way he interacted with Stone was as though he's from Chicago Justice.
It was familiar.
Yes.
I don't watch Chicago anything.
None of us watched it. So again, are they trying to bring up more characters? What is this?
Probably.
Stop bringing Chicago justice on our show.
It's like you're forcing it down our throats.
It's like you're trying to replace our people.
I don't like it. I hear
It would have made so much more sense if her person was Buchanan.
Yeah.
I mean,
or one of the many defense attorneys that are just like strange.
Or who take those hard cases like that. Like, what's that guy, the black lawyer? What's his name? Oh, I can't remember.
Bayard Ellis?
Yeah.
Yes.
He's currently only defending people who are wrongfully accused, specifically black people who are wrongfully accused.
You're right.
Also
because
on Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah, also he's busy. But Bayard Ellis used to defend terrible people and now is like doing Innocence Project work.
So Zach says that he is from Chicago Justice. He's from the
Again,
show.
stop! All right.
Is this the former Chicago Justice showrunner now?
I believe so.
Oh, wow.
God, dude.
We solved the mystery.
You have to write fanfic if you want to do that. You can't use the real platform.
All right, let's move along because we got Sandrine Holt back.
Yay!
Again,
Sorry, I love her.
There's miscommunication as to what her name is. Previous episodes, she was Dr. Martin. This episode, she's Dr. Abernathy. So, same character. Maybe sometimes she takes her name and sometimes she takes her wife's name. I'm not sure, but that's where we're at. We get this cockroach story. Thoughts?
Wait, what was worse? The cockroach story or the sea turtles?
Or the rabbits.
Or the rabbits.
The sea turtles were definitely worse. The cockroaches at least made sense.
And it was dark. It was really
It
creepy.
was dark.
Kind of liked it.
I feel like she just wanted to sound crazy. Like, obviously, she's a very smart woman. She has put together an entire. Like, she's a lawyer. She's embezzled millions of dollars from her client. Like, this lady is very smart, and that's another thing I didn't understand why they didn't touch on it, and why I say that this episode was extremely misogynistic, because it negated the fact that she was a very intelligent person. Like, no one even brought that up. Like, not even Stone. Didn't even bring up, that she is highly intelligent. Like, do not be fooled. Like, this woman is a superior. Like, has superior intelligence.
She also knows the law and knows how to fight it.
Oh, that would have been so good if we got her, like, just a hint of her, like,
Faking
eyes
it?
or of her faking it.
I would have loved it.
That would have been great.
So, in the cockroach story, she believes she's the ledge and that she has to save her children before they drop
Tag
onto the
yourself.
burning grove.
She said, "So you're the road?" She said, "No." She was like, "No, bish, I'm the ledge." It's like,
Tag yourself on the boiling water.
All right. Her condition is called Family Annihilator. I'm no doctor, but I don't think it's real.
I wish we would have named the episode Family Annihilator.
That would have been great. So here is what we learned from Dr. Martin / Abernathy
/ Holt.
That this is a condition that upper middle class people, usually men, who can't see their family suffer and think that it's better than the alternative. That's why they kill them. And it's usually triggered by a financial setback. This sounds like not a condition. This sounds like I screwed over my family because I messed up our finances, so I'm going to kill them. And the fact that at no point did they look at the insurance payout? How is that not something that comes up?
That's what I said, because that's been in so many episodes. Like,
that means in so many instances of life. You'll watch any like a murder show, Snapped or something. They took out $1 million something policy 2 months ago or something like that. You have it happens in real life all the time.
I would have loved it if, like, when they were trying to get this, see if she planned the killings and they went to Dolores, I would have loved it if then they looked at her insurance and saw, like, a year ago she got them all life insurance. So, like, it's been so that they could claim that obviously it wasn't planned because it was a year ago I did this. It wasn't recent. I didn't just do it. But also, it's been planned for a year.
Yeah, that would have been good.
There was just so many things that you could have brought into the conversation that could have tied it all in, from the diagnosis that you got, from the financial situation that she was in, or that she created, for herself, like the embezzling the money, like the firm being audited, like so many things that just didn't get mentioned that I was just like, where's Barbara? Because he would have been like, oh, so basically she's just poor now and that's what she did. Like, he would have just told it how it is, but Stone's like, oh, you know, he goes off on a rant. We'll probably talk about it in a second. I won't beat you to it, but you know, y'all were there. Y'all saw it.
All right, so Benson goes to prove that it's been planned. We talk to Dolores, who says that she said adios instead of buenos noches, which means goodbye instead of see you tomorrow.
I
And she
kind of
gave
like
me a
that too,
kiss.
not gonna lie.
She never kisses me.
Yeah, she kissed her
The kiss was
goodbye.
odd, but I think the change in words, like, that was kind of smart.
I mean, I think that's a very interesting tell, and I like it. I wish there would have been more than that connect. That's all our connection. That's it. That's all we got.
Yeah. But props, I liked that line. Like
Yes.
that fact.
It was an intro.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's get to Benson's on the stand because we have this weird killed versus murdered argument that happens.
I can't stand was Bob Boyle.
Whatever.
Billy Boyle.
Billy Boyle.
Boyle.
Not Buchanan.
Billy O'Boyle
Billy O'Boyle.
is disgusting. It, like said like something. How do you do both? How one has the suffer, one has the lack, or something?
Yeah. What? Okay. Here we go. Stone explains that women can't have it all. I'm sorry?
Okay, so sorry.
At the same time. And I'm
we
like,
can't
what
have
does
it
that
all.
mean, though? Like, what does that distinction mean? Because I'm like, all right, like, I don't like his character, but I'm going to try to give it the benefit of the
Right.
doubt. So he says they can't have it all at the same time. And I was like, what does at the
Like
same
this
time
sounds like
mean?
1998, like a conversation they'd have on The View in 1998. Can women have it all? Can they have career? Can they have family?
Right.
Can we do it all? Like it's been 20 something years since this conversation topic has come up in our society. Like, is this a real thing you're actually saying? I felt like I was being mansplained about like my
Yes,
life.
tell women what women can have.
I just what I don't understand, and maybe I missed it, and the chat can definitely weigh in on this, but what I don't understand is we're saying that this woman who has a great career and a family and a husband to help her raise the kids and a nanny can't do everything, yet our show is literally led by a woman who has a full-time career and is single-handedly raising her son with a nanny. But like, you're telling me that your argument, because his closing had nothing to do with anything.
Well,
Yes.
Bob's is weird too. Billy Bob's, whatever.
Whatever.
I don't know. His was weird too. It was like you try to do this and part of I was like, okay, I'm a little bit following what you're saying, you know, as far as like society standards for women and like how they should look and dress and be
Right.
mothers and how they should be wives and all these things. I got that, but it's like, and these voices in your head and you can't do it. I'm like, no. A lot of women go, you know what? Not today. Sorry, can't put my cape on that one. Maybe tomorrow. Like that's not really how real women handle issues. I mean, and if you have mental health issues, that's totally different.
Right.
That's different. But he's making it like, oh, she heard these voices telling that she can't do it, and I was like, wait, the voices told her that she can't do everything that she already did.
But the thing is, Stone asked her, he says, you didn't want them to live without what? And she's like, I really need to explain. He goes, yes, what? And she said, me. So he asked why she didn't kill herself. And the thing that, not Buchanan, I wanted to call him Buchanan.
Oh boy, oh
Whatever. that he didn't address, like his argument was that she was trying to do too much. Therefore, she killed everybody. That's not an argument. It also is very silly, or it seems very silly to me, for a show as progressive as this one, a show that literally the last few episodes have been like, we're putting issues in your face, chose to have this episode and have two men.
Yeah.
Speak on it.
Yeah, it's very odd. This episode, so weird.
I'm sorry. Like, I'm just gonna be really like, I'm trying to live my life hot, you know, honest, open, and transparent. I just really cannot stand for a white male to tell me anything about anybody else's life struggle, anything. Like, you are in the highest position of privilege. Like, I don't believe that any of that should come out your mouth. Like, God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth for you to listen more than you talk. So at that point, it's just like, this is not the mouthpiece for this. Like, for whatever you're trying to do, I think maybe there was a point to that, and it just didn't translate well once it was edited and got to our television screens.
I would like to believe that. I also feel like I should definitely rewatch this episode because I need to calm down and rewatch this episode. All right, so they find her guilty of one of the murders, her husband, and Stone says it's because they didn't want to believe that a sane woman could kill her children. And I very much understand that. It feels very similar to a previous case. I can't think of which one, but Barbara says they couldn't decide, so they split the baby, where they choose to give you, they find you guilty on some of the charges and not guilty on the other. And I think that result makes sense, right? Like, as much as I disagree that I think it's very possible for a sane woman to kill her children, I think that result from a jury makes sense to me.
I'm also shocked we didn't bring in the fact that Julian and Dolores were having an affair, because all of the nannies said so it's like maybe that was motive for her to kill him.
It's also interesting that he didn't try to play that card. I mean, there was no evidence of an affair, but
Stone is a terrible lawyer. My gosh, he's horrible. He's a terrible lawyer.
Yeah.
All right. Before we quickly talk about what's going on with Rollins, let's take it to the fans. Thank you all so much for joining us. Thank you for putting up with this episode, but also for putting up with us hating on this episode. Again, it was inconsistent. There were parts we liked, there were parts we didn't. But we really appreciate that you're all here. We also love that there are people in the live chat right now. Thank you. We're also on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Spotify. You can listen to us there. But Felicia, you want to read something for us?
Sure. So Alice Jones says that she had a weird thought when she watched the promo, what she thought this week was going to actually be. She thought it was going to be a mother overcome with grief and who would stab Rollins in her stomach, like her pregnant Rollins. And I was like, you know what? That's not it's a horrible thing to happen, but that's not a horrible storyline.
Yeah.
That's not a horrible storyline. But most people are just not here for, the episode is very inconsistent. Amanda says the same thing. It's very inconsistent. Zach, he's not feeling Stone at all. And Peacock's Tale says the first theory was that she totally did do it for life insurance. That's initially what everyone thought. It was for money.
Yeah.
I mean, it was about money, but they thought it was for money. I did too.
Right.
Yeah, that's a natural thing to think, I think.
Yeah. Do you want to also...
And Amanda said that she really thought the only good moment in the show was the moment between Benson and Rollins.
Oh.
Interesting.
We'll get to that.
Yeah. Do you want to...
Tell them about what's going on at AfterBuzz as well.
Oh, yes, of course. What's up, AfterBuzzers?
What's happening?
What's up, AfterBuzzers? Our network produces after shows for nearly all of your favorite television shows, from sci-fi, drama, reality TV, and more. There's no network that works harder. I will not let them distract me. Listen, we need your help. We're asking that you would please subscribe to one or more or all of our YouTube channels. And what you do with that, by subscribing to that channel, what YouTube does, it will suggest content that is tailor-made just for you. And what it does for us, it helps us to continue to grow. And don't worry, if you don't know those little stupid notifications, you don't have to have them. They're optional. So please subscribe. Let us know that you did. And we very much will appreciate you. And we do thank you so much for being the best fans and for allowing us to be the ESPN of TV talk. Y'all tried to get me.
Thank you for getting to that.
Oh, I was like, what is she? She's gesturing.
Like, girl, do the thing. All right. So Al sent Rollins flowers.
Al is creepy.
Did he not also say, you should abort this baby?
Yes.
And just be the worst in general.
Yeah, take it.
He's just a creep, man. He's like creep vibes, creep mode. And she's like, I said not at work. It's like, I'm like, girl, listen, you have a big old belly out there. Like, maybe some flowers would make people feel better about your situation. Like, it would make it look a lot better. I'm just saying, maybe that's maybe that's something for predictions. Maybe that's a hint or a sign of what's to come for Rollins and Al. But he just seems really, he's just such a creep. It's creepy. Rubs me the wrong way. Makes my neck hair stand up.
Hold on to those predictions. We'll get there.
Yeah.
All right. That's that. That was what happened with Rollins and Benson, their ridiculousness. I have some real SVU news that I want to tell us about.
Please do.
So let's hit it.
AfterBuzz TV.
Real SVU news. So a few things happened today. A lot of, and I want to say like a S-ton, I can't tell you the number, of Google employees walked out today all over the world to protest the way that Google has handled a lot of sexual assault and sexual abuse that happened at the company. For example, Andy Rubin, who is the creator of the Android mobile software, got $90 million as an exit package, even after the company concluded that the harassment claim against him was credible. And then they gave him $90 million and said, leave.
What?
$90 million. Everyone.
everyone is getting paid for leaving. This isn't in SVU news, but the same sort of thing happened on the Today Show, right, with Megyn Kelly?
Yeah.
She got paid like millions of dollars for leaving
Well,
that.
they're still working out that. So
Give me
there's
this money.
an employee at the Google walkout had a sign and it said, "What do I do at Google? I work hard every day so the company can afford $90 million payouts to execs who sexually harass my coworkers." That is one of the signs.
Wow.
So please look into the Google walkout, literally Google walkout, or check it on Twitter, which is not a Google company. Other SVU news, for those who don't know, Kip Pardue, we will show you a picture of Kip Pardue. I've been a fan of Kip Pardue's. I was a fan of Kip Pardue's when he was in the movie 13 with Evan Rachel Wood and Nikki Reed.
You know we love this movie.
It's a great movie. And he's currently on Runaways. You saw him on Ray Donovan. He's been on a lot of stuff. Kip Pardue did an indie film with a woman, and they were having a post-love scene, so they were in bed naked together, but like not real naked because it's a movie, so she was wearing underwear and I think pasties, and he was in his underwear, and he got excited and put her hand on his penis. After this happened, he has admitted that happened. That did occur. He apologized to her for this behavior. She also claims that another thing happened, that afterwards he invited her back to his trailer where he masturbated in front of her. And according to her, allegedly, he said to her, that this is not a Me Too thing. He can't fire her. He's not her boss. Here's the thing. This happened within the last 12 months.
Wow.
12 months ago, Me Too started to explode, which means this is post everyone going, hey, we should be better behaved. And these things happened. He admitted to taking her hand and putting it on his penis. So that in itself is a problem. The thing is, there's the movie 13. We talked about how much we loved it. I watched that movie so many times, and with the audio commentary and all of the bonus features. And there's a scene where he is older than Evan Rachel Wood and Nikki Reed, the actresses who were in it, and they all kiss in this scene. And I believe it's the audio commentary where they discussed how there were parents on set, lawyers on set, agents on set, and there were specific rules as to where they could touch him when shooting the scene because they were under 18 at the time. So he was wearing shorts. They weren't allowed to touch the top of his shorts. They weren't allowed to touch his nipples. He was in a movie where they set rules about where you can touch each other years ago. He is now an adult in a movie, and he doesn't think about, I wonder where she's allowed to touch me.
It's honestly, it's really disgusting because the fact that you think that someone else wants to touch any other part of your body, and you move their hand to do so. And also, like, I'm not here for like victim blaming at all. But in this type of time, in this type of atmosphere, like now more than ever, like women have to advocate for themselves and each other. So advocate for yourself. Like if he's making you uncomfortable, so say something. I don't care if your outburst is bad. I think people think, I don't want to, as women, like, I don't want to outburst too much because if I do that, they're going to think that I'm being a B word or something.
I want to very much clarify why this is in the news, because she took it to the newspaper because she immediately told her agent. She immediately told the union. She immediately saw a lawyer. She immediately called Time's Up. This made it to the newspaper because she did everything she needed to do and no action was taken.
Wow.
I will say the new season of Runaways is coming out on December 21st, and until Hulu or Marvel TV or Runaways takes action, I am boycotting this show that I very much want to see, and I suggest others announce and do the same.
It's not impossible. The Fosters did it when guy from Seventh Heaven, what's his name?
Steven.
The dad?
Yes.
Yeah. He played the grandfather, and they recasted him, and that's what you should do. Just recast. Like, it's
the show's already
done.
done. And
season 2.
I'm saying remove him.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So we can enjoy this show, because until then.
I'm here for an outburst and outrage because it's just, it translates over to real life because people hear stories like this of actors and people, and it translates over. Like, you have to really tell people, like, even sometimes guys on the street, like, something sexy. Whoa, you calling me sexy is not a compliment to me like you think it is, because it tells me that you're thinking of me in a sexual way, and that does not make me feel comfortable. Like, that's actually gross and disgusting. Like, can you not do that? Like, I used to be like, oh, I don't want to have an outburst and someone look at me like, oh my God, there's an angry black woman. Now I'm just gonna be the angry woman. Like, I don't care.
I'm done. No. Catcalling's over. I now shout, no, we're not doing this anymore. We're done. All right. Happier news. Take it to the poll.
Yeah, guys. So our poll this week is, favorite episodes with questionable / train wreck / terrible mothers.
There were so
because
many
there
to
are
choose from.
many. So we have Selfish, season 10, episode 9. Hillary Duff episode.
Oh, great episode
Yes.
where her child dies.
From
Everybody.
the measles.
Yeah, it's the vaccine.
It's
It like
based
goes into
off
a
of
weird vaccine one.
Casey Anthony, is that the one?
I don't know.
I think that's part of it. Yeah. We also have Locum, season 12, episode 1. Joan Cusack, Bailey Madison, one of my absolute favorites.
They put things inside me to control me.
And Libby's like, what? I
Yeah,
love that episode
so
so
funny.
much. One really recent one, Pathology, season 19, episode 10.
Which is the Munchausen by Proxy episode.
Yes, and then this one.
Yeah. Wonderful. We'll tell you where to find that poll in just a minute. Let's take it to predictions. I don't know why I'm saying take it to
your AfterBuzz
like this
TV.
is sexy back. Take it to predictions.
Hey,
All right. Here's what's happening next week. It is again ripped from the headlines. 3 separate employees have accused some famous chef of sexual assault. There are no arrests. Why does he keep walking? Or no, why does he walk free? Whatever. And then there's that weird scene in just the promo where it looks like he's inviting these patrons to gang rape this girl. But that's just what the scene looks like. I don't know if that actually is
it
what's
does look
happening.
like that. About the same vibes.
Yeah. That's the promo. What case is this? I want
It's
to...
Mario Batali,
Yeah,
right?
from the Chew.
From the Chew?
Yeah.
Awesome. I was like, is this the guy from the Chew?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's
Great.
the first person I thought of.
Me too.
Unless
That's
there's
like
somebody
the
else.
Main
chef
celebrity
who's
chef guy, right?
Sexually harass people? Great.
That's good. Thank you, chef industry, for
Yeah. I mean, again, an event that happened in the last 12 months, Kit Pardue. I'm so mad.
I'm sure he'll be on here sometime.
You had a prediction that I said to hold on to.
Oh yes, because of the flowers that we saw Al give.
Yeah.
I think that's some type of prediction for in the future. Maybe their relationship will change or some type of thing. Because initially, again, like what Taylor said, he was like, oh, so you're gonna abort this baby, right? Like he wasn't in it, and now he's like, I didn't send flowers to you. I sent flowers to the baby. Like. The baby doesn't know what a flower is, stupid. Like, send me a Snickers,
Exactly.
some Krispy Kreme donuts. Like, the baby knows what time it is when I eat. Like,
Yeah.
baby doesn't know about these flowers.
I hope it's not going down this path where she settles and marries him. Like, here's the thing. We established he's not a good guy. And yes, maybe he'll change and become a better guy. But
when has that ever happened on the show?
Or in real life.
also, he has 9 months to become a better guy. Him buying her flowers after the last time we saw him, she said, "I'm keeping it. You don't have to do anything." That's not progress. He's still a bad guy and he's trying to make up for it.
It's just strange. But I think that's what they're trying to do to make it seem like. And then next week, I can only predict that I hope there's a little less Stone in it, because I just think I think he's probably the worst. Yeah, he's probably the worst DA in the entire series.
I hated Kim Graylick so much.
Oh,
So,
okay.
okay, really?
Girl.
Did you guys not hate Kim Graylick?
So far, I have not hated
Anybody except for.
I'm so sorry. I did not like him.
Look, he's going to grow on us and we're going to like him and it'll be fine. But until then,
Not talking about those damn sea turtles.
and not bringing his friends from Chicago to town. I would like more consistency with our characters.
Yes.
That's my request.
But I wonder how next week's gonna relate to somebody. Who is it gonna be? Is it a Carisi's turn? It's probably okay. I predict next week is Carisi's turn for a storyline to relate to him.
I think we are gonna have something crazy happen with Amanda's baby daddy, because it's been a hot second since
We've seen him.
we've seen him.
He's a part of the gang rape in the restaurant.
How about we
Boom.
get Kim back? That's what I want. Kim Rollins.
No!
I love her. She's wild.
Oh, we should bring her mom back.
Yeah.
Mama
Bring our
Rollins?
whole family back for baby shower. I'm begging you.
Can you not make her go into preterm labor though?
Oh, prediction.
Yeah.
Kim comes back to town, sleeps with Al.
Please! I'm ready for the trailer.
It is 100% within both of those characters.
Yeah.
I almost wanted to walk out when you said that, but I could see it.
Totally doable. Ha. All right. Until next week, everyone can keep up with you where, Felicia?
You can find me on Instagram at It's Felicia Michelle.
Let's leave you off Twitter.
Awesome.
Don't go on my Twitter.
So you can find my Twitter and the poll on Twitter at alphabet_ and on Instagram at Taylor_Gates_. I also host the Romanoffs panel every Monday and The Good Place and Legacies on Thursdays.
I'm Yael Tygiel. I'm everywhere at Yael Tygiel. That's YAELTYGIEL. That's Twitter and Instagram. I'm on both of those with the same name. Find me there. I have nothing else to promote. We'll see you next week.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.